You could feel a change in the tunnels.
You had boats, carts, other things, wheeled objects. These rectangular structures filled with people moving underground. You think about the boat headed to the world of the undead, but that's not what this is.
Say supernatural, that's certainly not out of the question.
And this is not coincidence. This is not something that somebody made up along the way. When you look at Hoyt-Scamerhorn, when you look at Astor Place, when you look at Kingston Through, when you look at 42nd Times Square, you think they're from the 30s. And that might be right if we're talking about 1030 BC.
That technology is of extraterrestrial origin.
New York City, 2020 AD. Stretching for hundreds of miles under the city and serving millions of riders a day, the New York subway system is full of mysteries.
Well, the New York City subway system, or as it was originally known, the Interborough Rapid Transit System, was developed in the latter half of the 19th century in an attempt to compete with some of the major European cities at that time, and it was New York's bid to become, well, what it considered a world-class city.
But in the heart of Brooklyn, deep in the Brooklyn Museum, secrets of a more ancient past may lie among the relics of ancient Egypt.
Now, there had been world-class cities before that, dating as far back as, of course, those that we saw along the Nile River Delta in some of the earliest kingdoms of the world.
Mysterious structures, artifacts, and writings, believed by mainstream archaeologists to be part of Egyptian afterlife rituals, may hold new clues to the 472 miles of track beneath the 5 boroughs of the city.
So this structure, 3 feet wide, 6 feet long, we think sarcophagus, right? But it's not. There was not a human body in there.
Ancient astronaut theorists believe that in this stonecraft we glimpse a far more surprising truth.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Whenever I take the train down from Connecticut, you could feel a change in the tunnels. This is something which some of my colleagues might argue with that extends somewhat beyond the scientific realm in the strictest sense. But there's a change in the overall feeling, the ancientness of what you're interacting with.
Thanks to newly extemporized evidence, ancient astronaut theorists believe that the New York City subway may have a direct link to the gods of ancient Egypt.
When you actually look at the measurements, which are in inches, by the way, not in cubits, you see that they're the exact width of a subway track. Why are we denying that the ancient Egyptians, who revolutionized so much in the way of transportation, in moving people from one place to the other, in moving stones from one place to the other, how could they have not come up with a blueprint for one of the greatest transportation systems of all time? I think it's likely. It goes back to the story of Osiris. You had a god who came down on some sort of craft, a pyramid-type shape, and the Egyptians began building their transportation structures around it. You had boats, carts, other things, wheeled objects constructed around this idea of the perfect mode of transportation. And so when you look at these hieroglyphs, you see not only the story of Osiris, but what came from that, the technology that was not available at the time.
If that technology wasn't previously available, could it be that it was brought to the Egyptians by extraterrestrial involvement? Ancient astronaut theorists believe the answer is a resounding yes.
You have to pull the veil aside and see the very pure thing that the gods or the extraterrestrials gave to those Egyptians in the first place, which is truly a miracle that we still ride upon and which transmits the souls of 6 millions across the river of Styx every day, in a sense.
But radical new research has brought to light the possibility of a much more immediate connection.
You'll start to see that there was something else going on. You'll start to see that there is a pattern. a larger pattern in these stations.
Some ancient astronaut theorists believe that the extraterrestrials never left the subway.
They are living, breathing things. I was in New York City, and I was taking the subway. I don't like doing it too much because there's so many people around, and we were going. I think it was called Hoyt Schimmerhorn, and the train stopped. And I know that's pretty normal. You know, the trains don't always run the way they should on time. And the conductor comes on and says something about like a signal problem, signal delay. We wait there 5, 10, 20 minutes. Seems like an eternity. And they tell us we're going to evacuate the train. And of course, I know they don't fix these things. These subway cars have been around since before I was a boy. So we start leaving, and it's pandemonium, it's chaos. People are screaming, kids are falling all over each other. And there's a moment where we stop. And we're just waiting to get off. We're waiting to, I guess, just evacuating the tunnel. And to bide the time, I look out the window. That's when I saw it. I saw two eyes. They were a color I'd never seen before. And they looked into my soul. I saw them cut through that tunnel darkness. I saw them enter me. And I'd never felt like that before in my life. I saw its skin. It's green skin. It just scampered off, and it was gone. And after I left that train, I was never the same again. I started reading about them extraterrestrials, them aliens. You ever seen one of them? You ever seen a alien, son? You never seen one like I saw. You would know. You would know. I promise you, you know. I read about them, and I started connecting the dots. Ancient Egypt. The pyramids, the tombs, the pharaohs, it was all connected. They built it. They built the subway. Them Egyptians, they planned it out, and they put their gods, their Osiris, their whatever they're called, they put them in that subway. And they live there to these days, and that's what I saw. And I've been telling the truth. I've been spreading the gospel ever since, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I don't give a shit if it's on this show, if it's on YouTube, or if I'm one of them performers in the subway. I'm going to tell my story. You believe me? Them aliens are real. They're real.
Crisp, delicious Sierra Nevada 40th anniversary limited edition hop anniversary ale. Were you rolling that? The hieroglyphics and the way that it looks and the trade.
You're getting a little bit sweaty. Your glasses.
Oh, shit. They came down when my grandma was out in cornfields. Oh, it's hard to get the character. They did things to her. They pruned her.
Okay, I'm done. Still waiting, Sierra Nevada.
Why haven't they been endorsed? Could be the work of extraterrestrial forces.
Or like speaking into like the far distance on this one.
And scene. All right, that's all I got.
Since the day we parted, why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know